From 1888 to 1917, all graduates from the college were white. In 1919, Lewis Stanley Brown became the first black student to earn a degree graduating from the commercial course, thus adding racial diversity to the mix.
I cannot remember having any experiences at the university as one of the very few black persons on campus that was negative. I cannot recall ever anybody saying anything negative, any feelings or anything that hinted of prejudice. I always found the university to be a very warm and welcoming experience. The university was just always a place where I think anybody who wanted to could go, feel love, support, and be at home.
So I came to Scranton in 1987. I had decided that I wanted to come here because of the mission and the kind of individuals I met. I decided this would be a good place for me. When I got here in 1987, I think I was the only African American on the faculty. There may have been one more person, but I think I was the only one. I kept getting the question from people. The question was, why are you here? You know, I mean, this is very odd. I mean, you have a PhD in accounting. You could have gone to any place. Why are you here? Because there aren't too many, African Americans here. I think that at the time was an indication that we were a little bit less open than we are today. I think the implication was that you only serve people who look like you. I came here to serve, and for me, I was looking for human beings to serve. I didn't care whether they were, they were black or white or whatever. I was looking for a good place to work, to do my job.
Former Director of the Office of Multicultural Affairs, Sherman Wooden, speaks of a diverse evolution in the student body.
I came to the University of Scranton on August 15th, 1989. Previously, one of the challenges that we were working on at that time was trying to figure out ways how we could increase the African American enrollment on campus, and also how those students, African American students on campus, could be made feel comfortable. We were thinking about, and a group was formed, which was called the African American Society. So there was a society that was made up of white students who were the first initial officers of the African American Society. We began, and once we started the recruitment effort in terms of increasing the minority student enrollment on campus. And as a result of that, we began to have several distinct groups coming in. We had some of the Hispanic students coming in. We had some of the Asian students coming in, and a number of them were interested in joining, and they came up with a combination, which was the forming of the United Colors on campus, because we felt that all of the colors made up the composite family of the overall campus.
UCO was originally the African American Student Association, but in 1993, in a push to become more inclusive and to expand their membership pool, they turned into the United Colors organization. Almost like 20 years afterwards, we're still striving to just keep including members, like all members of Scranton, because we just want to promote the awareness of diversity, and we want to promote the fact that our school is amazing because of how comfortable we feel here.
My main mission as president was to let people know that our beauty is within our differences. Like, it doesn't matter what you have to offer, it's something. Like, that's important to us. Like, a lot of people think that being similar and having things in common is like, that's what binds you, but I think accepting people's differences is like more important. And that's what I want for the Scranton community, is to make us better by like using our differences and as a strength, not a weakness.
And so over the years, what I've seen, and this is the story of Scranton, the University of Scranton, as well as the bigger city. What I've seen is we become more diverse, we become more knowledgeable about the world, and therefore more tolerant. And I don't hear people asking me why I'm here anymore. I think they know I belong here.
Military culture has been an important part of campus life.
In 1951, the United States Army and the University of Scranton entered into an agreement to establish Army ROTC. Up through the late 60s, Army ROTC was mandatory for every student the first 2 years. The program really had its roots as the nation was in the Korean War, and then of course with the Vietnam War throughout the 60s. But 1951 saw the first cadets enter the program, with the first commissioning class being 1954. Since its establishment, over 1,300 young men and women have earned commissions through the Army ROTC program here at the University of Scranton, and going on to serve on active duty in the Army National Guard and U.S. Army Reserve.
Well, there is a good number of differences between an ROTC student as well as a traditional non-ROTC student. While we do still are fully incorporated in the university and take the regular academic schedule, we're not like a military school or anything like that where we have a corps of cadets. There is some unique differences in the fact that we are kind of up early in the morning for that PT thing, where normal students are still obviously sleeping on a college campus. There is some extra commitments, such as our weekend training exercises at what we're at right now.
So this morning we're here at Kirby Park in Wilkes-Barre, and we've got over 100 cadets from the Royal Warrior Battalion taking part in tactical lanes training. The goal of our tactical lanes training is to put cadets in a tactical scenario to exercise the leadership principles that they've learned in a classroom environment.
Get moving! Our senior class, there's 27 cadets total, and 6 of us are female. So we're definitely in the minority of it. I wouldn't really say it's too much different. We're still expected to, be at physical training 4 times a week. The standards are a little different on the PT test with the run and the push-ups, but overall, we're still doing the same stuff as everyone else.
You all coalesce very well as a class, and that really helps develop you as an officer and develop the program and help train the cadets.
Former Mayor of Scranton, David Wenzel, tells of his experience as an ROTC cadet and Vietnam veteran.
From 1968 and 1969, I was in the ROTC program. But back then, you had to take ROTC in both your freshman and sophomore years, and they used to march us down to the armory here in Scranton. I was at the University of Scranton and with the ROTC program at a time when there were a lot of demonstrations against the military and even against ROTC. A lot of colleges were dropping ROTC in protest of the war. Here at the University of Scranton, though, it really wasn't a hot issue. In October of 1970, that's when I arrived in Vietnam. And I was there from October 1st all the way until February 5th, I think, when I was evacuated after stepping on a landmine. I always felt that I was going to go back to graduate school anyway, so this was a great opportunity to come back to the University of Scranton, pick up my MBA degree, and it also would help me acclimate myself, get back into society, and see how I was going to operate. It was a time when everybody wanted to forget about the war. And so it was just a matter of coming to class.
Well, I think, one of the most exciting things being done right now in terms of veterans is the recent formation of the Student Veterans Club. I know in the next 30 days we're going to see the first ever opening of the Student Veterans Lounge.